years. I'm not doing this for Mark Mumford. I'm doing this for the community of Chestertown. It's not about me. No one runs for mayor or council for their own benefit. They do it out of a sense of commitment and dedication to public service. I want to try to build consensus. I can't do the job alone. I want us to learn to unify as a town and as a people and citizens of the town of Chestertown. I don't appreciate and do not tolerate people screaming and yelling at people that are basically volunteers trying to help their community. I want civility. I don't want people assassinating people's characters that are trying to serve in the interest of the community, not themselves. I want people to step up. I need the whole community. Like I said, I can't do this job alone. This job needs people from the community for committees, for commissions, for task forces, etc. And I've got to make people understand, in order for that all to work, we have to work together and we have to step forward and say, you know what, I can give a couple hours here and there to help. I want us to work, everyone, in the best interest of our town to make Chestertown the best town it can be, because I feel that Chestertown is one of the best towns in the entire state of Maryland. First and foremost, infrastructure, roads, paving, utilities, underground sewer lines, water lines, they're all aging. And the Department of Utilities is constantly and diligently working to keep up with the repairs and the maintenance and the improvements to those. We have stringent guidelines that we must meet for our potable water, drinking water. And they work very, very hard to try to make sure that we stay within the guidelines that are set. Our drinking water is vital. Our lagoon is vital to our treatment of our waste, which then ends up in the Chester River and the Chesapeake Bay and our tributaries. We have to keep on top of that, and it's very expensive to do. And Chestertown has probably the most inexpensive sewer rates in the entire state quarterly, about $90 a quarter. That's pretty ironic. People that are in the outlying areas of town that are paying their sanitary district bills are over $300 a quarter compared to our $90 per quarter, basically. The Bay Restoration Fund is very important, and it's helping replace many failed septic systems, many holding tank systems. The Bay Restoration Fund helps fund that effort. And the Maryland Department of Health, through our local Kent County Health Department, Department of Environment at the Health Department, they will work with you if you need your septic replaced. And in many cases, that replacement is no charge to the individual, depending on your incomes. First off, people think the minute you say affordable housing, the word affordability makes people allude to Section 8 housing and cheap construction and things like that. That's not what we're talking about with affordable housing. We're talking about a young family, someone that lands a job in our community, whether it's in Chestertown or in Kent County, and they want to buy a home. Well, the way that home prices have gone over the last 5-7 years has skyrocketed. It's supply and demand. A lot of people that have retired, the baby boomers, et cetera, even myself, are considered baby boomers. At the end, I was the end of the baby boomers, 1958-ish. But they come in, they want to retire from New Jersey, Wilmington, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, et cetera. And their pricing is even more expensive than ours. But a young family that wants to look at Chestertown to buy a home, it's very, very difficult because of supply and demand. And because of the supply and demand, the prices have gone through the roof. So someone making $75,000 or $50,000 a year very difficult to be able to swing a mortgage, raise a family, and all the expenses involved in heating, electric, food, et cetera, et cetera. It makes it very challenging because we have low inventory and high demand. How do we try to breach that? Well, we're all going to have to sit down at the table, discuss the issue, come up with creative ideas. One idea that may be thrown out there that I've been thinking about and talked to an accountant about and said, yes, that is definitely a resource and an idea. Public land in the town or the county owns land, let's say. It's not currently being utilized for something. It's for future growth or things like that. Well, we have to figure out how can we take that land and turn it into land lease. Land lease. Think about that. The entity has the property, and they set up a program where a quality builder can build a new home, and the land is leased for a 99-year lease. Washington College did this way back. Many of the houses on Washington Avenue, Campus Avenue, Mount Vernon Avenue, around that part of the town were college lands, and they built homes with land leases for 99 years. When you are talking about a building lot today, you're talking in the neighborhood of $75,000. Well, if you knock that down to a land lease for $1 for 99 years, that significantly decreases the cost of a home for someone that's trying to find an affordable way to purchase a home. We need to find more jobs, and every community is after those people that have businesses that want to expand and want to grow and maybe are looking for locations. There are so many communities across this nation that want to attract that new business into their community for those jobs as well as for the future of their community. And some communities have vast resources in their treasuries, et cetera, so they can offer perks such to those businesses that we don't have the resources or the availability to offer that avenue. So we have to look at that for the future. We need folks and younger folks for the future of our town. Over the last 30 plus years, we have slowly but surely become the majority of a retirement community. And I'd like to see more young people be able to prosper, have a job locally, pay for a home out of their income, et cetera. Dixon Valve is a prime example. Delaware, where they owned property, was doing everything in their power to incentivize to get them to be there. And by Mr. Dick Goodall, who brought Dixon Valve and was the CEO there when they came in Chestertown in 1972 and bought the old Vita Foods building that was on High Street that Washington College has recently leveled and put the Dixon decided we, the citizens of Chestertown and Kent County, supported their growth from 1972 forward. And when it was time for them to build new facilities, they decided, you know what? Chestertown is what helped us be the successful corporation that Dixon is. And Dixon is an international corporation. And for us to be able to have their commitment to staying here and the jobs that they provide, in many cases, are very reasonably decent jobs, paying reasonable salaries and benefits, and they also offer the training needed for their business operations, and you can go into those training programs successfully, and you can grow in your position with your salary and your title and all of the perks that come along with being a well-trained, skilled worker for the Dixon Corporation. Our beautiful facility that acts owns, which is Heron Point Retirement Community. It's a great employer, and it's a good employer to work with. And the people that reside there are wonderful people that have fallen in love with Chestertown and decide for their continuing care. We have quite a bit of good thing. We were talking about some housing. We have some great groups that are working hard with housing, attainable housing that can help a family and has helped. In fact, they were just finishing up a duplex on Prospect Street that they just built. They have a home across from Bethel Church that they built that a family's in. We have the Shelter Alliance that has begun, has a director. They got a grant for a 3-year director to get started. They're working real hard. Those people have been, some of those people, like the president, Carol Nyman, who is a friend of mine, and I have worked with her for at least a decade with several unfortunate or less fortunate individuals that needed housing. And Carol and I have worked together, and she's spearheaded this Kent Shelter Alliance. Sure. My priority is, number one, Chestertown, Maryland is an incorporation. And Chestertown, Maryland needs to be run like a business. The town business affairs need to be professional, courteous, paramount customer service, and we need to sit down and sit to a table when we have differences of opinions and we have issues that need to be discussed. And we need to, I'm not always going to agree with your side. You're not always want to agree with my side. That's perfectly fine. Sit down, let's find where do we have common ground and where do we need to both come to a mutual understanding of the issue. Anybody that comes to the Mayor and Council with an issue is passionate about their issue. The Mayor and Council has many, many, many issues to constantly focus on, and we need to talk these issues through, come up with creative ideas and thoughts from all parties. Thus, it takes me back to, I can't do it alone. No one can. It takes all of the community to work together. It takes volunteers, to step forward and say, you know what, I can help, and I'm willing to try. That's what I've done. People kept coming to me saying, Mark, we need leadership, and we think that you are the man that might be able to do the job. I can't do it alone. I will be telling people point blank, I need everybody to come forward that's willing to, and when there's something that is announced that we need so-and-so, we need someone for a position in the Historic District Commission or this commission or that committee, or we're having this planning idea or we're having this issue to deal with, and we need people to come forward and help us and guide us. I don't have a magic wand. I need the citizens of Chestertown to help make this a better operation all the way around.